Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Jojo Palacio, and on this channel we talk about all things beauty. Today on this channel we are doing this double liner purple summertime moment. I had no idea what I was gonna do when I sat down, and let me tell you that half of this just happened to be happenstance. Like, God was with me today when I was doing this tutorial because it just kind of happened. I knew I wanted purple, I knew I wanted liner and some full lashes. Everything else just kind of came together, thank the Lord. So we are using Morphe palettes today. I say it's because there are two. So the main one that I'm using is this Morphe 35C palette. It's a pretty colorful palette, and I really like to have these guys as part of my collection. I'm a makeup artist. I do makeup on the side as freelance. So I like it in a kit, but honestly, sometimes you see some inspiration and you want purple on your eyes and you don't have a palette per se. This is always a good way to keep colors in your collection without having multiple palettes. They're matte, there's 35 of them, they are such good quality, there's good pigmentation, they're easy to blend, highly recommend it. So it's the Morphe 35C palette. And then I also went into my Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 palette from Morphe to kind of get that inner corner highlight. That being said, it's just for the inner corner glitter moment. If you do not have that palette, then go into your favorite highlighter, go into a palette that has your favorite like lid shade for shimmer, and you're good to go. I am super excited for you guys to see this look just because I almost didn't do this eye look. I love color, I love seeing it, but I don't consider myself one of those like daring, bold, creative makeup artists. I know that I'm talented and I know that I can blend, but I'm always reluctant to try things like that. And so I just want to kind of touch on that before we get into the tutorial. You can skip to the beginning of the tutorial, you're not going to offend me. But I just kind of wanted to put some perspective and put some things into focus for you guys, because if you don't try something, you will never know whether you're good at it or not. And if you let self-doubt and insecurity and your mind just play tricks on you, you won't ever find out. You won't ever see your purpose, your fullest potential. So I want to encourage you to not only try this makeup look out, not only subscribe to my channel, like this video, write down some comments below, but also change your perspective and focus in life on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, regardless of what your mind is telling you. Believe in your heart, trust in God, put it before Him, and you can do anything. All things are possible. So we are gonna get into this double winged liner summer purple situation right now. Sorry for the spiel, sorry, not sorry. If you wanna find out how to create this look, just keep on watching. Subscribe to my channel. I post every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday of the week. You won't regret it. Also look me up on Instagram. I announce all of my giveaways on there, do a lot of behind the scenes. I'm on there all the time, just, you know, socializing, being a social butterfly per se, and talking to you guys. So let's get into this tutorial because I know you are dying to see how I created this look. All right guys, so we are zoomed in and ready to work on this look. So this eyelid has already been prepped. We use our No Filter by ColourPop, and we also use the MAC Studio Fix in C2 to prep the eyelid. So let's get started into this look. We are using the Morphe palette that I spoke about at the beginning of the video. I don't have any names to these palettes, but it is such a good pigmented palette. We're gonna get started right along with so we're gonna get started with this color that's right here. It is the darkest of all the colors that we're gonna use. But like I've been using, this strategy is just best for me to start off with this darkest color. I'm gonna pick that up using a JH33 brush. This guy is really good for packing and blending color. We really just wanna pack at this point. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by putting it in the outer corner, which is the darkest spot for this eye look. You always wanna press down the brush on the area where you want it to be the darkest. So that's the area that it should touch first. And then we're gonna work on creating a V, an outer V in that area there. Right now, you're not really trying to blend. Your main focus is to pack this color and create the shape. All right, guys, so once we've got it pretty much this far, what I wanna do is stop for a second and go into the second purple color. We're gonna blow this shade up and really diffuse it, create a nice blend with this guy right here. So I'm gonna pick up the JH35, which is very similar. It's just a little longer. Longer just means that it doesn't really have as much left over on the top of the brush bristles. It'll really help to blend it out. And so with very light pressure, we're just gonna take this color and help us to start blending out these lines. I prefer to use a mirror that's further away at this point because this is really gonna help me start to carve out and create the shape. And when we're creating shapes, you just wanna make sure that you are comparing it to something further away than something super close, because that's just gonna give you a really good evenness. It should always look as similar to the other side as possible. All right, so what we're gonna do is go back to that first shadow. This part I really feel like is very important. We're gonna use an angle, something that's got a sharp end to it. We're not gonna go back to the primer. I just like my primers, like the Urban Decay has a really good sharp line to use. You could use anything that has a nice sharp line, and I like to pull it up here and really just pack this color, the first purple in this outer corner here. I can do that by, one, it's gonna help me create a shape that's even to the other side, and two, it really helps me to just build where I need it. All right guys, so once we're to this point, we can go and start carving out our lid. To carve out the lid, I'm gonna use the Makeup Shack T79 brush, which is a nice big flat brush, as well as go back into my No Filter concealer by ColourPop. I love the way that, what color is this? This is Fair 8. I'm sure they have an even lighter one, and I would definitely get that one if I were doing that concealer for the eyelid like I am here, because it's just gonna definitely matte, neutralize, white it out, give you a good base for the colors and for the gradient that we're about to do. So I'm gonna carve out my lid like any other time. I'm just gonna take a minute to just look forward and up, and that really starts to create the shape. So the next thing that we're gonna do is go into this fuchsia, magenta-y, pinky color. I don't know if you guys remember Blue's Clues, but it reminds me of magenta, like the dog. I used to come over and play with Blue's Clues. Yeah, so that's how old I am. And I'm gonna take that on a flat brush actually, and we're gonna pat that into place. So this is a Luxie Precision brush, and we are patting, not swirling this matte color. And what I wanna do is put it right here. And I'm gonna take it all the way up. So right in the center of the lid, and take it all the way up to where that crease was cut. And what I'm gonna do next is go back to that first shade and that first brush and really blend the two together. Next step is we're gonna go into the beautiful inner corner color, and we're gonna switch gears, still Morphe, just a Jaclyn Hill palette. And I'm gonna go into this guy that's right here. It's such a pretty color in the palette. It's even better in person. I didn't have to wet it. I just went right in with a JH41, and I'm gonna pick that up, and we are going to swipe that on all the way from that inner corner up into the magenta color. Okay, so you guys guessed it, it's time to get into this black liner so that we can move on to the glitter liner, because we're doing a double liner look. Crazy, but we're doing it. So we're gonna go into this Stila liquid liner, and let me just get this black line out of the way. All right guys, so let me just kind of catch you up, because I did a few things off of camera because it's just, I have to be up close and personal to get it like perfect. So I did my liner with a black liner. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liner. And then I also went in and I tight lined, and I got super close to the water line and even up above here. I don't know if you guys can see it. But I also fill that up with black, because that is a pet peeve of mine when I'm doing a look like this. I need everything to be blacked out and like look like one. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner, and I'm gonna create that second liner that's above the black. So, okay, so I'm gonna zoom you out to do the complexion, but you might notice that there is now liner up at top too. I'm gonna just own up to it and tell you that that was a mistake. I looked up and I opened my eyes before that bottom liner was completely dry, and then this happened. So there is a God, I believe that. Thank you, Lord Jesus, thank you, Lord. So if you wanna repeat that, you can just draw the line up there on your own, or you can do what I did and open up your eyes and kind of do a similar motion to when we are letting the crease cut. And that happens. So thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. We are pretty much done with the eyes at this point. Let's zoom you out and let's get started on complexion. All right, so I've zoomed you out. We are getting ready to start our complexion. I am so pleased with how this colorful look is coming out. Like, you guys, I mean, I know that I say that I'm not colorful. Let's just say I haven't done colorful in a while, and I'm super excited. I'm proud of me. Yes, me. Okay. So let's go into complexion. We're gonna start off by using this guy. This is a L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock. I love this in the midsection. It's good to mattify. It's good for oily skin. It's good for combination skin. And then the other primer that I'm using, the primer combination that I'm using is a Mineral Veil primer by Hourglass. Mineral Veil is a good smoothing SPF primer. Your skin just gets left so nice and soft. So right after we get done with that, we're gonna go right into complexion. And for complexion, you're using none other than the Smashbox Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. I use the shade 2.18. I'm gonna start off by using this much, guys. I feel like that is more than enough for complexion. I'm gonna blend that out with a T40. So this foundation is, you guys are looking for a full coverage, higher end foundation that's not gonna play your life, not gonna play your feelings, good for combination skin, good for oily skin. That's it right there. I mean, so let's move on to the other parts of our complexion. We're gonna go into our cream contouring, cream bronzing, and to do that, we're gonna use the Milk Makeup Stick. I like the Flex Makeup Stick. I use it in the shade Medium Tan to really help me tan up, bronze up. I like to do a cream bronzer before I do my concealer and my highlight. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I just feel like I like to create a nice depth, some nice dimension. And then if I do happen to go too far, or when I need to go and like clear things up a little and lighten the skin back up, I'll use a concealer after. So I kind of use it as like a cleanup. Yes, love it. All right, so let's contour. To contour, we are going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in Beautiful Bronze. I like to take that with a much smaller brush, if I could find it. Found it. So this is the BH Cosmetics Marble Collection brush. This is a number 4. I do include all the brush collections that I use, or like the link to the websites of where you can find the brushes down below in the description bar. So check that out if you're ever curious. These are really good, inexpensive brushes I've had for forever. So I'm just gonna work off of the back of my hand. I stopped putting it on directly just because I like to control it a little better since it is a little deeper. And I'm gonna go into the temples. Remember, this is to contour. So you've already bronzed up at this point. You just wanna kinda create some depth, some dimension in certain areas. You guys see that it starts to like do this and kind of build up a little bit. We are layering, and that's okay. So that's why I like to keep a sponge nearby to just kind of push in and blend. Especially when you're doing a ton of cream products, one over the other, it'll just help to blend and smooth it out without lifting anything. And it does happen, guys. I just wanted to show you that real quick because it does happen. No one's perfect. Layering and building things like that is just very tricky, and you have to be careful and kind of learn on how to do it. Sponges nearby is a total win. I know we've been using brushes so far, but that's why I like to just kind of keep a sponge. This is a Hank & Henry sponge, if anybody's wondering. I got it in my BoxyCharm. The Huda Beauty concealer, and we're gonna just conceal under the eyes. And then for highlighting, I'm gonna take my ColourPop No Filter concealer that I've used to carve out my brows and prime my eyelids to highlight. So let's conceal first. This concealer is a little different. It doesn't have a wand, so what I like to do is just pump some out on the back of my hand. I like the applicator on it, don't get me wrong. It's meant to be like this fancy eye cream applicator where you can go directly into it with the under eye area, but I just don't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my Morphe brush. It's like a buffing brush. Real Techniques has one that's very similar to this that I like. And so I'm just gonna start by applying it in the areas where I would my little triangle. Do you guys remember where I would apply it like directly with the applicator? So because I have a brush and it's a cream concealer similar to the NARS one that I have, I'm just gonna apply it where I would normally apply the applicator, which is just directly under the eye area. We're really just pushing this in, like I explained earlier, to just make it look cohesive, like it's one flawless application. I don't need coverage at this point. Like, look at how cute that is. Cute. How flawless that is. So I'm going to take a little more of that concealer and I'm going to apply that in the center of my face. Just to kind of build up. I want to conceal with this shade. So we're just setting all of the areas where we just finished putting the concealer. And I just realized that I didn't have to use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer, so there you go. So I'm gonna go into my powder mix. I do have it in the description below. I'll also tag you guys on the video where I use it. It is such a good mix if you're someone who has been struggling to find the perfect color, or you're someone who's been struggling to find the perfect formula. It is such a good formula for the under eye area. And I'm only gonna bake under here, and I'm actually only baking, guys. I don't think you guys have seen me do this in a long time, because I'm gonna go in with purple, and I'm not messing up my under eye. No, no. So that's gonna set. I'm only baking for that purpose. Let's go into the under eye part of the eyeshadow, and we're gonna go back into that Morphe palette, and we're using all those purples as like much as possible. So what I wanna do is kind of copycat what I did on the top to the bottom, exactly as I did it. But I'm gonna use a lot smaller brushes to do it. So I'm gonna go into this guy, which is also part of the Marble Collection by BH Cosmetics. It's a number 7 brush. I think I've shown you guys this before, but I keep a towel and this Sephora Daily Brush Cleaner handy, just because in between uses, in between deep cleans, I can like wiggle it on this towel and it comes out like a brand new brush. I'm gonna start off by that darkest color and then blend out from there. And for the darkest color, we're gonna use a smudging brush. There's a flat one, there's a round one. I'm just gonna use that flat one. Okay, load it up, I like it. Almost spiky looking lashes for this, it's like super pretty. Ooh, let's finish this up. Let's wrap it up real quick. All right, so to wrap it up, we're gonna just set all of our creams with powders before I dust this off. It's just really important to me at this point to like keep that there to reinforce. Let me finish off the eyes though. I'm gonna go into my Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2, and I'm gonna take this lightest shade, which is the Skylight. It's the center one. I don't know why I pointed to the other one. The center one, I'm gonna use that as the inner corner highlight. So we're gonna go into the KVD Beauty palette, and we are just gonna bronze it up. I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush to set everything, and I'm gonna mix the center shade and the side shade actually, just to kind of do 2 steps in one. I'm just gonna pat this into place. All right, so we're finally ready to dust this stuff off, and to do that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the lighter powders in this KVD palette here, and I'm going to just dip into both the yellow and the pink, and we're gonna use those to dust this off. We're gonna go back to this palette, and I seriously just dip into all the colors in this palette. They're so pretty. Maybe not this one. Well, I'm a little tan right now, so I'm just gonna dip into all of them. Specifically Daylight and Twilight. Let's go into a little bit of blush, and for blush, I'm gonna be a little bold. I feel like I'm gonna take this guy. Do I? Yeah, we're just gonna mix them too. I've just been obsessed, and I feel like the magentas are gonna pick up really well, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just gonna build this up on the Luxie 514 blush brush, and we're just gonna put that right in the center of everything. All right, guys, so this is the finished look. For lips, I kept it nudie, pinky, ombre-y, a little bit of everything-y. So what I chose for this mix was LA Girl Perfection Precision Lip Liner in Blushing. And then I topped it off with the NYX Lipstick Lingerie and Lace Detail. I absolutely was obsessed with this lipstick, and I stopped using it, and I don't know why. If you guys have tried the lip lingeries, comment down below and tell me if you're obsessed just as obsessed as I am, because it is like so good. And then for a little glossy sprinkle moment, sparkle, I put on the number 7 High Shine Lip Gloss in the shade Sparkling Rosé. Sparkling Rose, there's no accent. But guys, what do we think about this look? It's definitely a double liner glitter summer moment. Like, we totally did that. And it was so easy, it was so simple, it wasn't something complicated, and I love that. I will say that I would like almost didn't do this look because I was just not in it up here. And I feel like we limit ourselves not only on makeup but in so many things in life because of that reason. You have to realize that it's all about perspective, it's all about focus, and if you set your mind to it, you put it before God, there is nothing that can stop you. And I want to encourage you that today, not only with this eye look, not only with the makeup, but in anything that you do in life, just make sure that you stay focused, that you put your perspective and your focus on what you are trying to achieve. Let everything else behind, even the self-doubt, leave that behind, and you can do anything that you want to do. So I will say goodbye now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. That way you are notified of when I upload. My videos are up every Monday, Wednesday, Saturday of the week. Plus, look me up on Instagram. It's Jojo Palacio. On Instagram, I do a lot of behind the scenes. I do a lot of education, inspiration, talk about keto and life and my puppies. And it's just fun to talk to you guys on there. I also announce my giveaways online on IG stories. So look me up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Blessings. Love you. Bye.